President Biden, meanwhile, snapping at a reporter yesterday after being questioned about the FBI file, alleging he received a $5 million bribe along with his son, Hunter Biden, receiving a $5 million bribe from a Burisma executive. Watch this.
Why did the Ukraine FBI informant file refer to you as the Why is that term particularly applied?
Why did I ask such a dumb question?
Yeah, Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer joining me yesterday on this program. He says that the Biden foreign bribery scheme could be even more than he previously thought. Watch what Comer told us yesterday.
According to what the oligarch told the FBI informant, was that they had 17 recordings, 2 of President Joe Biden, the others of his son, accepting bribes and talking about the terms of the bribe.
What number are you up to now? How much have you identified of the money he's taken in from foreign nationals?
We have more bank records coming in, but we're going to exceed 10 million this week, and I think we'll get up between 20 and 30 million dollars.
$20 and $30 million, the prediction from the chairman of the Oversight Committee. Joining me now is South Carolina Congressman, GOP freshman class president, and member of the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees, Russell Fry, with us this morning. Congressman, thanks very much for being here this morning. When is the Oversight Committee expecting to get more bank records? And what is your reaction to Comer saying that it could be up to $20 to $30 million that you all identify in terms of this family taking in money from foreign nationals?
Thank you, Maria, for having me. The committee continues to investigate this. The subpoenas continue to go out as we find new transactions, as we find stones that are unturned. And so this is going to be really important. And I take Chairman Comer at his word. I mean, what we're continuing to see is this pattern by the Biden family where they set up shell companies. There's money from foreign actors that pour in through Biden family associates to members of the Biden family. And so we're continuing to see this every single day. It seems like a new revelation comes forward. And so we're going to keep tracking it. We're going to let the facts dictate our next course of action. And on that front, the American people can celebrate because finally there's a little bit of transparency to this family.
Well, maybe, but Ranking Oversight Committee member Jamie Raskin says there is no facts, and he's dismissing these allegations entirely against the president. Watch what he said.
There is no credible evidence that Joe Biden was involved in a corruption scheme in Ukraine. I've not seen anything that would suggest that.
Congressman, didn't you all see the same information?
Well, I don't know what Ranking Member Raskin saw, but what I saw was pretty damning, and it tracks very closely to the pattern that we're seeing with these bank records, where you have foreign actors pouring money into shell companies overseas, which pour money to Biden family associates and then to the Biden. And of course, this 1023 bombshell that was dropped just last week tracks very closely with what we see all across the board. You know, this is a pattern. I mean, Raskin is like the chief propagandist for the administration at this point, because look at, I mean, he said that initially that all we were going to see in the bank records were Papa John's receipts and Starbucks. Well, that proved not to be true. He said that the investigation into Hunter and Joe Biden was shut down by William Barr. That proved not to be true. So, again, I mean, he can continue to say this and to be that actor for the Biden family, the defense lawyer for the Biden family, but none of it backs up. The facts don't back up what Ranking Member Raskin is talking about.
So if this is true, why isn't Joe Biden impeached? I mean, look, can you really get an agreement to impeach Joe Biden? You all could not even agree to censor Adam Schiff.
Well, I think the facts dictate this, right? And so examining why the FBI didn't investigate Joe Biden, examining these bank records, continuing, we have a deposition that will be coming up with a member of the Biden, or an associate of the Biden family. That's going to be coming up shortly. So continuing to get the facts, let the facts dictate this, and continue to hold this administration accountable. I think everybody is concerned about foreign interference. You know, they accuse Trump of this. They accuse Trump of this, but it turns out, at least based on what we're seeing now, that it may have been the Biden family itself.
Well, and speaking of Adam Schiff, by the way, Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna says that she's reached a deal with the 20 Republicans who voted against censoring Congressman Adam Schiff, coming as the Judiciary Committee is preparing that hearing with John Durham next week. Congressman, do you have any news in terms of what your 20 colleagues are going to do in terms of Adam Schiff here? Because initially her effort was defeated yesterday. She says she's now got the Republicans to move to censor Adam Schiff.
It sounds like it, and I think that the concern that I heard, at least from some of the 20, was concerning the fine language itself. It sounds like that may have been taken out, and so more to come. It sounds like that it'll be coming back to the floor for round 2 of censuring Congressman Schiff.
All right, we'll be watching that, and of course the hearing with John Durham next week. We look forward to that. Congressman, good to see you this morning. Thank you, sir.
Always a pleasure, Maria. Thank you.
All right.